Hi, this is Ted at Value of the Dolly. I found this really interesting chart, and this came from the Bank of Portugal. And it's a study that was completed in 2017, but some of the information is really relevant to what we're seeing in the market today. And the reason I brought up this chart is because you see, going back to 1996, that the height of the market, the last peak of the market was 2002. And after that, you saw a 10-year decline in the housing market in Portugal, 10 years of price declines. And that was followed by what we've seen as 10 years of price increases in the Portuguese housing market. And in this report, they note that from 2007 to the bottom of the trough, it was basically a 4% decline every year in the value of real estate, followed by a 4% increase from the bottom of the trough to 2017. And then since 2017, we've seen the market continue to increase in price. And with the Portuguese National Institute of Statistics releasing their latest figures, what you see is a nominal price increase in the market of 8.7% for homes overall. That's new and existing homes combined. But I want you to stop and think about this before you think, oh my God, prices are just continuing to go up, because they're not. Prices didn't go up in the last year in Portugal, and we'll get into exactly why. When you look at home pricing in Portugal, you see from this chart that was released by the Institute of Statistics in Portugal that prices have continued to increase in nominal terms. But if you look at the last year, you see that the pricing for new homes the price increases have declined much quicker than the price increases have declined for existing homes. And this is one of those points where they often call this a canary in the coal mine for the home market, because new homes need to get sold. If I'm a builder and I've got a supply of new homes, I need to get those homes moved and sold. So you see the new homes are selling at what probably really is closer to existing market rate, because they need to sell now. You're seeing existing homes staying maybe on the market longer, or sellers who have been expecting home prices to continue an upward march and are unwilling to accept anything else. So you see those prices selling at a higher point, but few of them. How much fewer homes are selling? If you go back a year ago and compare it to today, the number of homes selling in Portugal right now is 20% less than it was a year ago. And in December, it was 16% less than it had been a year ago. So the volume of homes that are selling is decreasing quarter over quarter and also year over year. This means that even according to one report which showed that there was an excess of, this is a report in the Portuguese news that was from Confidencial Imobiliário, and in that they point out that there's only 47,300 homes on the market in Portugal, but of that it was 37%, or 17,600, were new homes that were up for sale, and the balance, or 29,600, were homes existing on the market that had previously been owned by a consumer. So even though there are fewer homes on the market, there are even fewer homes that are being sold right now. And when you look at the real price of real estate, if you check this chart out by Fred, this uses data that's taking into account of inflation, and in 2022 the inflation rate was almost 8%. And you'll notice that in this last year, home prices in real terms, once you've accounted for inflation, have not increased. They've simply kept pace with inflation. So the headline that prices have increased by 8.7% is really a nominal price increase. It's not really reflective of what the true value of the property is, because it's only keeping pace with inflation. Not only that, but price increases are continuing to erode at a very quick rate, according to the chart that was also published in that report. Now, I'm not a professional financial advisor and I'm not a real estate agent. I'm just a consumer who's looking at this information, and you need to do your own research. This isn't a decision that I'm suggesting that you make one way or the other. This is only one source of information myself that I'm pulling together these resources and sharing them with you. But whether or not to buy a property is really something you have to make up and determine for yourself, because there are a lot of things that go into making that decision. One is, how long do you intend to keep the property? Because you may go through a complete cycle and it doesn't really matter, and you may sell again at a high point. Two, you may have other considerations, family, etc., that require that you purchase a home inside the market. So there are a lot of different reasons why you might want to do it. In the current market, it's over 90% Portuguese tax residents or citizens who are purchasing property, and it's about 93%, and that number hasn't moved. That needle hasn't moved in quite a while. If you go back maybe 7-8 years, it was double, almost triple the number of foreign buyers that we're seeing now, which is down to 7%. So the number of foreign buyers has also dwindled because home prices have increased so dramatically over the last 10 years. And going back to this Banco report, you see, again, over 20 years ago, that was really the height of the market, and we're just now reaching that peak again. And the question is, what happens there? Is there momentum? Is there a way to keep that market moving forward? Personally, I don't really see that. I'm guessing that we've seen prices in the last year stagnate. In real terms, they are no longer increasing above the rate of inflation. And the European Central Bank is looking at possible increases throughout this year above the 4%. And the reason this 4% is so important is because the rule of thumb is basically, if you increase interest rates by 1%, then you reduce somebody's home purchasing power by 10%. So 2% means you've reduced it by 20%, 3% by 30%, 4% by over 40% reduction in the purchasing power of a consumer. And that's why you see only 80% of the homes being sold compared to a year ago, because they're no longer affordable for a larger and larger swath of the community. So that really only leads, to solutions. Either inflation picks up and salaries pick up and that catches up to home prices, or home prices come down to a reasonable level where you can find a buyer and a seller who will agree on a price. So I'm really interested to hear what you're seeing in the market. This is Ted at Valley of the Dolly, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thank you. Bye now.